Lando Ballet and True on BBC Radio Leicester, 12 minutes past 2. Ed for Rupel today till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Ben Jackson will be on his way after the news at 3 o'clock. I know that he's here. I've seen him. It's true. He's not just a figment of your imagination. Now, we first met my next guest a few weeks ago when he revealed why he decided to attempt a cycling challenge for charity. That challenge, by the way, is to ride 388 miles all the way from Wimswold to Paris, and it's taken a step forward recently. Lots of money raised, but the training's got a bit tougher as well. And he's here, Dan Norcott. Did you cycle?
No, I didn't today. Yeah, I had to do some work in Leicester.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
You're letting the whole team down.
Yeah, I've got to get back to pick up my son as well from school.
So, yeah, that's more difficult on a bike.
Yes.
To Wimswold, in fact. Why Paris? I know we've been through this story, but I thought it was a reminder.
We were looking at a long bike ride, and the obvious one was John O'Groats to Land's End, and we had to get time off work and everything else. And there's three guys, and we've all got families and jobs and stuff. And we planned it all out, and it would take about 20 days or something for us to do John O'Groats to Land's End, which is nearly 1,000 miles. And we realised that we just couldn't do it. So we looked at what else to do, and Paris sounds just as impressive. So
yes, it does.
It's nearly 400. So, and also I love Paris. So yeah, we decided to do that.
Yeah. And it's as much as, we were talking earlier on the phone, and albeit the making of money is one thing, and that will help a great deal, but actually getting the story out there and highlighting some awareness around this is probably, almost as big a target, I guess, for you.
Yeah, I've been working with the Kidney Care Appeal, which is the charity I'm raising money for in Leicester, and I've been to see what they do. And they've got a kidney exercise team who do research into the benefits of exercise for kidney patients. And there's also a diabetes centre at Leicester General that work on exercise for diabetes patients. And basically, if you're ill, there's almost nothing you can do that's better than just getting whatever exercise you can. And you don't have to be Superman. I'm far from that. I'm like 15 and a half stone, and I go quite slow on my bike. But everyone can do some exercise, and it makes you feel happier, and it makes all your clinical outcomes much more likely to be better. Like I've got a transplant coming up in the autumn sometime, and I'll be so much fitter after doing this than I would have done if I hadn't done all the training and this big cycle, that it'll increase my percentages of it all going swimmingly quite a lot, I think. And the doctors are all really happy with it. So.
And what are the sorts of symptoms that you'd be battling in this one?
Well, chronic tiredness, chronic fatigue is sort of the number one thing for kidney failure. And
how do you bring yourself to get on a bike then if you're chronically
you just
fatigued?
Sort of do it. I don't want to overestimate my symptoms, because I think I'm very lucky in that I'm in nowhere near as bad a state as many kidney patients are at this stage. I'm lucky that I've got minimal pain. I need loads of pillows at night to get comfortable in my bed because my kidneys are swollen. But I'm not going my kidneys all the time. But some people are in genuine agony the whole time. That, and I have to eat very restrictive things. I have to watch potassium and phosphorus, which are basically in pretty much all food. So I have to minimise dairy products for phosphorus, and hardly any vegetables, and all the healthy things.
I've got a banana.
Bananas would kill me, basically. Yeah. A tin of kidney beans has got 2.5 times as much potassium as I can have in a day. And I'm a vegetarian as well.
Right.
So if I ate fish, it'd probably be more sensible, because I think fish is okay, but I don't, so I'm an idiot.
Well, that's interesting. Why did you become a vegetarian?
I've been since I was 15. I like animals, just in a sort of vaguely tree-hugging sense. I didn't want to eat them, and it's not necessary for me to eat them because there's all these other corn and stuff. Yeah, well, corn's really good. Not that you should advertise it. Other products are available, but it's really high in protein, and it's not high in the things that are bad for me. So
yeah. You're a very, happy, outgoing person, and yet you've got this going on in the background. There'd be a lot of people that would allow this to bring them down.
Well, I've known about it since I was 20, so it's not like a big surprise. I've been slowly coasting towards it all my life. I'm lucky in lots of ways. I was born sort of cheerful. I've just got a cheerful disposition, which is a big boon. But even if I hadn't, exercise would be the thing to do, because I've got friends who are depressed, and going out for running. And running is one thing I can't do, actually. I'm useless at running, but I can cycle. But I know friends who run and walk and cycle and all these other things, and it just chases the blues away. So it's good for physical and mental illnesses.
You're wearing blue as well, is that?
I am, yeah. I had to take off most of my clothes because I was boiling hot in the atrium.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's a bit like a greenhouse in there at the moment. Yeah. I'm wondering whether are you Leicester City fan?
No, but I am quite happy to see what's going on. All my friends are crazy about all that. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's this. So we mentioned Wimswold to Paris, 388 miles. How is that actually going to happen? How are you splitting it down?
I've just worked out all the routes exactly. The first one is 50 miles to some place in Northampton, some weird conference centre. And then I think there's a 36-miler to Leighton Buzzard, and then to central London, about 50 miles again. And then there's 3 50-milers on the trot to get to Newhaven. Then we have a day off when we're getting on the ferry to Dieppe. And then we're going to 3 places in France whose names I might forget. There's no point trying to remember them. And then we end up in Paris, which is a name I can remember, of course. And we're just trying to work out whether to end at the Eiffel Tower or Notre Dame, because it's a bit complicated getting through Paris. I'll try and work out the best route. I like the idea of tootling in along the Seine for the last bit, but I think a lot of it is actually quite unpleasant roads.
Right.
So
difficult for bikes, I guess, as well. Some of it's still cobbled down in nasty bits of road and stuff. Yeah.
Abundant, as you might imagine.
True,
but I have cycled in Paris before. It's not the end of the world. It's just, I'll just have to try and work out the best way to do it. And we're going on this thing called the Avenue Verte, which is a cycle path that's under construction between London and Paris. And most of it, well, probably 60% of it, is off-road on tracks and paths and things like that.
It sounds like it. That's a green avenue.
Yeah. But then in Paris there's a bit more roady bits, as you might imagine. So I need to work out how good the Avenue Verte is and if it's worth doing something else at that stage. And we're staying in hotels, just like cheap hotels, like £100 for all 4 of us, including breakfast kind of thing. So
you could have chosen somewhere better than Leighton Buzzard, though, surely.
It was perfect for. Aylesbury was just nearby, and the hotels there were much more expensive.
But Aylesbury's very lovely, though.
It is. I
it's a very nice area.
So I like money, and we're self-funding it, so the sponsorship's all going to the charity, and we're having to dig into our own pockets for everything else. So,
I keep forgetting this isn't a jolly. You know?
Yeah, no. If it was a jolly, I would be staying there.
Doing this, obviously, you have to do training for it. I mean, it's a bit of an undertaking. It's a heck of a challenge, even for someone in full fitness. Doing that kind of thing. How have you worked out how to fit in and what mileage to fit in and that kind of thing before?
Guesswork, really. I started off doing some little ones, like 5 milers, when I hadn't done any exercise for 6 months, and it was sort of hard but okay. And then when I came to radio last time, I did there and back, which is 36 miles, and I was tired, but it was okay. And then I started doing 18 miles a day just because there was an 18-mile loop near my house. And I did that a few times and found it really easy some days and really hard other days. And then I realised that it was the direction of the wind that made the difference. So I've now got about 5 loops that I work out, so I'm always coming back with the wind behind me. So it's like, whee, it's a treat at the end. I've done about 250 miles in April so far, which is quite a lot of 20-mile a day. I had to have the odd break because my muscles get sore after a while, partly because of kidney failure. That's another thing the Kidney Care Appeal have been investigating, why kidney patients' muscles don't recover as well after exercise as normal people's. But I've found that if I massage, I've got this weird stick thing to massage my muscles, which seems to make it a bit better than having rest days. It kind of seems to be okay. I'm getting faster as I go, and 40, 50 miles a day, I think I'll be okay. If I did it every day forever, I'm sure I'd die, but for 10 days.
And will that struggle change once you have the transplant this later?
I think I'll get more sort of vigorous, more get up and go.
Yeah.
But I don't think the muscle stuff will change. That's what they're trying to work out, whether it's something innate to the body or something cellular or whatever. They've actually taken a biopsy from me and several other people, and they're fiddling around with the cells and culturing them to try and work out what the situation is. So it's another reason why I want to support the charity, because it's perfect for me because it intersects with kidneys and exercise.
And living with a condition like that for so long, you do inevitably become a bit of an expert in the field, don't you?
Only a little bit. I try not to get too obsessed with it because it ends up being all you can think about. So I didn't actually know that much about it until I knew bits, obviously, because my dad had it and I grew up with him. But I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but I obviously know far more than a normal person would do.
So what's your advice after this long living with that kind of condition? If there's someone else with the condition, what do you tell them?
Don't let it rule your life. Enjoy yourself as much as you can, and don't set your sights on some future goal when you can be enjoying yourself now, really. Same for everyone. Everyone's going to get ill and die at some point. So grasp every day you can and just try and have fun.
And in the meantime, you've got 388 miles to do.
Yeah.
Between Wandsworth and Paris.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. So.
The money that you've raised, the amount you mentioned to me earlier surprised me for a
start.
It's
about 6,700 now. Yeah.
You're nearly $7,000.
Yeah.
And you targeted $5,000 first of all.
Yeah, I pulled $5,000 out of the air, but
Well, you better
pleasingly
change that.
beat it.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of left it how it is. It seemed cheating to move the goalpost, but it's not like people can't donate. But yeah, please, yeah. Can I tell you about my website?
Please do.
I've got
There's a great video on there. It looks like the cartoon on there.
Oh yeah, my friend.
I really enjoyed.
Yeah, my friend Terry Wiley is a comic artist who did that for me. But it's peddlingtoparis.com, which bizarrely was available. So I've got a little website on there explaining what I'm doing, and with a blog and a donation link and stuff like that.
It's fantastic. We hope you raise loads and loads of money. When are you actually doing the cycle?
Next Wednesday, May the 4th, we're saying.
So you've got a week from today.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I won't be exercising every day because I want to give myself a bit of a rest.
Yeah. Can we catch up with you? I wonder whether we can catch you on the phone or something whilst you're.
Yeah, I'll have my phone with me. Yeah.
We'll
talk
about that and see if we can pop something in. It'd be good to hear the progress.
Cool.
A bit of whimpering.
Yeah, there'll be blog entries as well. I'm going to be putting videos and stuff on the blog as we go because I'm taking my computer with me. Yeah. So there'll be almost too much information, I imagine.
And the money goes towards.
It's all to the Kidney Care Appeal, which they invest in like seed funding for scientific trials, like exercise bikes for kidney patients to see if that improves dialysis outcomes, which has worked well. So they invested in one bike, trialed it, and then it worked well, and then they've got a larger charity to fund more of them. So they kind of get things going in a nice way to do practical things. So the fairly small amount of money in charity terms that I'm raising will actually have quite a good effect, I think. And they do lots of other things as well, like pay for basic science equipment, like pipettes and all that sort of stuff that they just need to get things done.
Yeah, it doesn't come down to the big things sometimes, does it? It's really those things that you just can't do your job without.
Larger charities are often reluctant to pay for the day-to-day expenses of things, so it's quite a useful function it serves as well as the larger things.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Listen, thank you for coming in. Hopefully next time you're on the radio with us, you'll be some way there.
Yeah, maybe a bit thinner.
Yeah, well, you could be. Yes, exactly. Is that one of your ticks? One of your tick boxes?
Well,
make sure you're a bit thinner on the way back. Listen, there are other ways of doing it that aren't quite so challenging.
I guess so.
Good stuff. Dan, great to meet you. Thank you very much. Good luck with it all. And head off to that website then if you'd like to go and check out a little bit more. And in fact, do sign up there and follow the blog whilst you're there. Just remind me of the website address again.
peddlingtoparis.com.
Good stuff. Good to meet you, Dan. Thanks very much.
Thank you.